Do
know
you
it's
have a
on
counter
zero.
for this thing?
All right, here we go.
I think even my dad knows how to use YouTube. He might be watching this. Tyler, my dad's like 77 years old.
Hey,
Wait, we're on
that's cool.
YouTube right now?
We are
Yeah, you're on
Oh, that's
YouTube.
no, we're
Not
not.
on the
PornTube.
YouTubes.
YouTube.
Oh
Oh,
boy,
oh,
Not RedTube.
starting it
YouTube.
early here,
YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
early and often.
I just wanted to make sure we were clarified on the tube.
So Tyler, I mean, we'll ask you during the pod, but what made you want to talk to Union fans on the air? Were you
So
just bored one night?
no, so I have always been a soccer fan, but I think that with the way that kind of our structure works, like I guess you could call it like the pecking order of what gets talked about. It,
Oh yeah.
it does unfortunately get kind of pushed to the back burner a little bit. But after the season that they had, I thought that it was important that they at least got and I'm not anybody special, but at least got a couple hours to enjoy the conversation, revel in the win a little bit, and talk about the team because I'm a big believer in transparency. And
Okay.
I will be like fully upfront with you guys that I am still learning and still growing and learning the game and the team. And I thought that the best way to learn is to learn from the people that know the team the best. And the best way to do that is to kind of have an open forum conversation about, the team and the season and the league and the success that they've had.
Yeah, it's funny when you sent that tweet out. I got a message from the front office. Hey, can you get the troops? And we were actually in a board meeting. Like we
Okay.
do our board meetings on Monday nights on Slack, and I'm like rarely look at my phone. I go, what is that? Yep, let me. I'm like, damn it, I would have called in. Like, but it was pretty funny because we saw that, and I guess the PR person from the union picked it up
Mhm.
first. Poor girl was probably just sitting there staring at her phone, like, holy shit! Like, so yeah, it was pretty cool to see. And then everyone's like, get rally the troops up.
Yeah, it was it
So
was it was great because I didn't know how much it would carry or if it would carry the whole show, and it
yeah,
was kind of like I said, I want to give fans and supporters an open forum to just discuss the team and discuss what's good and what's bad and everything in between. And I mean, it was like, hey, let's by the way, let's talk about the union and we'll talk about the supporter shield and you guys tell me what makes this team what it is. And it was like the phone lines lit
I
up.
know I'm pissed. I don't have the shield right now. It's with another board member. I'm picking it up Friday to pass it on to another board member. But 4 days ago, it was sitting in my living room.
That's awesome.
Like that's kind of the cool thing. Devin, what time? What do you want to?
I'm gonna shoot this out on the social media waves, and then we can
Okay.
get started once
Yeah.
we
So
do this here.
when are you guys allowed to have people back in the studio?
It's a good question. I don't know. I think
Yeah.
it's TFN right now. A little till further notice. Um, Hopefully soon, because having guests in studio is a lot better than having them on the phones. Um,
Because we want to bring the shield by at one point.
yeah, that would be great. I think that would be a lot of
Yeah.
fun.
And
Whether it's with the morning guys. I know Jamie's a big fan as well. So
we've
um,
we've had them on.
whether it's with them or Devon and I or wherever, I think that would be really cool.
Yeah. No. We could do everything. I mean, I know. Mikey doesn't want us on. Maybe Gargano, who knows? But these are all guys I've known in the past when they worked at the other station.
There's another station.
Not according to Nielsen.
Hi-yo. That's how you do it. That's how
Yeah.
you do it. That's bands right there. That's high quality bands.
You guys excited for the new morning show or?
I've never met John, so I mean,
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. I mean, his track record in Atlanta it speaks success. So I've never met him, but I am looking forward to see what he does.
Yeah.
I met Mark's a good dude too, and I know that he's talented and will land on his feet.
Mark
Um,
lives in my neighborhood.
yeah, I think that it won't be long until he finds the next gig. But yeah, I'm looking forward to see what John can bring to the table.
I
Yeah.
followed him on Twitter once.
John or Mark?
John. Me and Mark are fine.
Okay.
Me and I just remember specifically arguing with him about something that was so random. And he gave me well, I get paid for this. And I was just like, You are true about that. I respect that. I still think you're wrong, but I do
But
think
it-
I respect the fact that you've accumulated enough in your life that people are like, I want your opinion for real, for real.
See,
So
Adam,
I'm
you should have
excited.
gone back. You talked pro sports in Atlanta, the worst pro sports town in the world.
Look, man, if you want to talk pro sports in Atlanta, you just talk Georgia Bulldogs football,
Yeah.
and then everything else.
Or Atlanta
maybe,
United.
or no, that was the only team to ever get that. Look, man, I missed the Thrashers. I actually thought low key they had a really good color scheme
All right.
down there, but you know.
I thought
Every-
the logo was pretty cool too.
Everybody that's
logo-
currently
the logo
listening,
slaps.
turn your volume down. I'm gonna turn it up right now. I don't want to blow out all your speakers. Apparently, it's very quiet, so I want to turn it up. But I want to give everybody a warning, so I do not blow your eardrums out.
Is this affecting me in any capacity?
No, of course not.
No,
Okay,
but just scream like Ozzy right now.
no, I'm good.
Metal
All
screen
right.
of some kind.
Should be a little bit louder now. All right, good. All right. Let me know how there's Adam. Justin wants to know what shirt you have on. It's pretty dope.
Oh, where did I go? Hold on. Of course I would do that. That's like.
Did
the
he
most-
just freeze
Oh,
up?
I lost him too.
No, hold on.
Adam,
Womp, womp.
Hold on.
Wow.
Hold on.
this is why we can't
Hold
have
on.
fancy production.
Can't
Stop.
have these things.
I actually don't even know what happened.
Tyler's right now calling his agent. Never again will I do these fucking pods.
Man, you think I'm important enough to have an agent? That is a very, very kind statement. Thank
No,
you.
I'm sure there's some scumbag lawyer there that wants to be your agent. So,
I don't even know how that worked like that. Okay.
Well,
Adam,
you're
you're good
frozen,
there,
so
man.
there you go.
yeah, you're frozen,
We'll
man.
keep you like that.
No, well, the thing is, it's like the pod died. All right, hold on. I'm not like.
Pod died. We're canceled. We don't have sponsors. How are we canceled?
Already canceled.
Hi. Okay, so my other
There we go.
webcam just went kaboom for some reason. I don't know. It just stopped working. I like gently tapped. Are you gonna? Yeah. Okay,
Alright,
it's
there we
done.
go.
All right, cool.
No,
Then
you're,
we're
you're
just
good
gonna
now.
do this
You're
one.
good now.
Yeah, we're just gonna do this one.
All right.
Cool.
I got the
That
thing
makes me
out there.
sad. Oh, so yeah, my shirt is Wayne Sporting Goods, the last true sporting
drink.
goods spot in the world. You know, it is. It's a
Tyler,
relic.
every time Adam mentions Wayne, PA, we have to drink.
Oh, it's a drinking game.
It is.
Well, it's
Yes.
now, yeah, because he
Oh,
talks
man.
about his hometown more than we talk about Union soccer.
Look,
That's
like
okay, proud
I'm
of it.
sorry, the youth academy just so happens to be in Wayne. All right, if it was in another place,
two
maybe
times-
we would have to. Yeah, I'm sorry, I can't help.
Everybody
but
drink
I'll be
do
on
again.
the
these
floor by the
things,
end of
you
this.
know.
Oh yeah,
How we do it around here?
All right.
Devin, are you good or
We could start the old pod. Let me
you got to hit record though?
I did hit the record button.
Way to go! All right,
Oh, are we live now?
we're live now. You ready, Adam?
No. Let's do it.
All right. Record it live from Random Secret Studios in Philadelphia, the Delaware Valley, and now YouTube.
I'm the capo. He's the prez.
And this is Sons of Ben, the pod. Welcome back, gentlemen, to Sons of Ben, the pod. Adam, you're gonna like this. This is reaching back into some history. This is episode number. Us non-Latino flavor people call him Joe Table, aka Jose Mesa. Number
Jose
49.
Jose Mesa. I mean,
Jose
that is.
Mesa. That's
Wait, Devin.
Yes.
It's not recording.
What?
oh yeah, it's not recording.
It's
Devin.
not recording.
Oh, come on.
I don't. That wasn't
I hope
me.
everyone on YouTube sees what we deal with here.
See, now it's back. All right, try it again from the top. This time with vigor.
Are we going from the top, Devin?
Yes, this time with vigor. I need another one. I'm
Devin,
mad how
you
bad
good?
I
this
love that we
camera
can give
is, too.
everybody a good behind the scenes look and like a true
Look, this is
feeling
how-
of what the podcast
This is
is
how
actually
every
like.
podcast has ever been done since the dawn of time. Like everyone, they think there's smoothness associated with this. Absolutely not.
No.
No, absolutely not. Come on.
All right, you ready?
Go ahead.
Yes. Yeah.
Record it live from Random Secret Studios in Philadelphia, the Delaware Valley, and now even YouTube.
I'm the capo. He's the prez.
And this is Sons of Ben, the
The
pod. Gentlemen, welcome back to Sons of Ben, the pod. This is episode number. Ready for this, Adam? This
Yes.
is historic.
What is it?
This is for the Caucasian people out there. Joe Table, aka Jose Mesa, number 49.
You really did this because there's literally no other person in the history of mankind that wore 49 in this town, right?
There really isn't, man. I always reference the Crossing Broad, and then I try to Google each team, and 49 was a barren wasteland of numbers. Like, if you get number 49 in Philadelphia, you're pretty much cut. Plain and simple.
Well, it's just like, I believe that really between 40 and like around 55, it just becomes a weird place, only because if you don't have like middle linebackers or fullbacks, you just don't really have anyone representing it, you know?
Yeah, it's like a bad safety. So, ladies and gents, if you're on YouTube or listening, you know this week our guest is one Mr. Tyler Zulli, the only man with the biggest cojones to actually talk Union soccer on 97.5 The Fanatic. Tyler, thanks for hopping on.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys. This is really cool. I appreciate the chance to talk to you.
This must make you feel really professional watching us struggle through all of our production. So,
Hey, you know what? You guys just had the ability to put it up on YouTube. This happens everywhere you go in every radio station. You guys just got recorded doing it. That's all.
yeah, we're proud of that. All right, let's get some business done real quick. Everyone, beer of the pod. Remember, Yards, 2SP, and the Larimer. Tyler, you are among probably about 30 people that we now owe a beer to. Normally, pre-COVID, we would record in an actual studio, and one of those breweries, who's Friends of the Sons of Ben and Friends of the Sons of Ben pod, would provide us with beers to drink beers. So now you got to come to a tailgate when COVID's over, and we can have Yards, 2SP, or the Larimer. Remember, guys, support those that support us. Devin, guess what we
Yes.
got in the news?
What is it?
It affects your ass, man.
Oh boy.
Elections. The elections should be wrapping up tonight, and results on Thursday. So by the time this pod's out, we're gonna know if Devin threw his hat in the ring to become a board member of the Sons of Ben.
Oh, well, good luck.
Adam has been actively campaigning against this for some reason, so we're gonna see how this happens. But
I want to
Yeah.
see
Final
how
vote's
much.
going to come down to you.
I just want to see how much influence I have. Like, maybe if I give them terrible endorsements. Like, here's the thing. Matthew's running unopposed, but if I tell enough people to vote write-ins for just literally anybody else, maybe he'll get dethroned by a shoe. We don't know these things. There's possibilities.
Matt, a shoe.
it could
Look,
happen.
man.
I mean, last time I ran unopposed, I got 96% of the votes. So there's 4% of the people out there think I'm an a-hole. It could have grown in the last 2 years. You never know. My dad's out there actively against this.
That was the one person who did not vote for you, was your actual father.
I think my girlfriend now is like not voting for me. She goes, "No, you're spending too much time on this pod and this other stuff. You could be shoveling snow." Speaking
You
of,
could
guys, is
be.
it snowing out there?
It's snowing.
I got sleet in the city right now. I don't know about you guys.
Well, in
It's-
case you didn't know, it's all over Twitter. People love to tell you when it snows.
Oh. They love to tell you when it snows and when Carson Wentz sucks. It's just, that's what Twitter's good for,
Look, we need we're easily stimulated at this point. We've been inside for about a good 8-9 months now. We're like, look, squirrel. That's literally where we're at now as a society. So it's, I mean, hey man, some snow. It switched it up,
Well, Adam, that's a great segue. If you are bored, go to Philadelphia2026.com and sign up so you can be part of the bid for the World Cup that we're trying to bring to Philadelphia. All right, Tyler's already done it. Tyler signed up
man.
his brother. He's on his laptop now. We're all on that. We want to bring the World Cup. Last week we had a World Cup episode. Philadelphia2026.com. I'm saying that one more time for my father, who complained about the episode. Goes, I don't know what the website was. You didn't say it enough. Philadelphia2026.com. I guess we got 3 more things. Drunken Union Zoom on Friday, 7:30. Tyler, you've been a part of that, right?
Oh, they're a great time. I joined right after a show one time. Didn't know what you guys were going to get into. You guys are fantastic. It's so much fun hanging out with you guys. Adam,
You
I think
must-
you were in your car.
Yes, I was. No, I mean sometimes you just need a little privacy, so you find
okay.
the roof of the roof of your garage, and you just shut in the car a little bit.
Devin, do we got anything on that SOB Discord page?
No, nothing new. Constantly good European soccer banter. Tottenham Liverpool today, that was fun. But
Oh,
Was
we
it
can
fun,
get into
Devin?
that.
Was it fun?
Was it fun for you, Devin?
it
Was it fun,
was
Devin? Did you have fun?
89th minute kind of fun?
I had fun until the 89th. From like 45 to 89 was a good time. I block
Like
out
getting
the
your
rest.
like soul snatched fun. I understand that.
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
it's
that
all
was-
All right. Speaking of soul snatching, as you
good.
say,
Ooh.
we've got to
Yeah.
congratulate a friend of the pod, producer J Dubs from the Men in Blazers, just became a father. So sleep and his soul has been snatched. But congrats, buddy. Congrats on the baby. We know you're listening. Hopefully we see you soon after COVID, man. And
Devin,
and that,
Devin, how was that transition?
That was a very good transition.
That was
We
good.
have not
You-
seen a transition like that in a few episodes.
That was
I'm very
that was
proud of you.
interesting. I was wow. I didn't know how he was gonna shoehorn that one in, but he got there. He got there.
I worked. Now, ladies and gents, this episode is the time for you to call in to get your hot takes in on the Philadelphia Union. And to help us out, like we said, Tyler Zulli's here. He is a professional. He's going to help weed out
Yeah.
you jackasses, all the Riches from Roxborough, the Marks from Manayunk, the Sal's from South Philly, all that. But like I said, he's the only man on Sports Talk Radio, or at least on 97.5 The Fanatic. I don't want to mention the other station that gives some love to the Union, but it's got the balls to talk Union soccer. So again, Tyler, welcome. And let's get a little background. We did it on the pregame.
Sure.
Like, what? Well, one, what possessed you to want to talk Union soccer on 97.5 The Fanatic when you could have talked about Carson Wentz? You could have talked about Ben Simmons and how he hates the Kardashians. There's so much else out there that you could have talked about, like the Mount Rushmore of, Philadelphia Phillies middle relievers. But you decided one evening to talk Union soccer. So, what was going through your head?
Well, and believe me, that Mount Rushmore of Phillies relievers is something that I could 100% do, because that is the team that I like. The way that you guys bleed Union, I bleed Phillies baseball, so I could definitely do that. But to answer your question, I think that really what I wanted to do was give kind of an open forum. So what I did back in like the early part of March, right before everything kind of got shut down, the Flyers were the hottest team in the NHL, and I wanted to give them an opportunity to, like, the serious Flyers fans, to talk about their team, discuss what makes that team special, why they are as good as they are, and kind of do a teach me style conversation and an open forum conversation. And I felt that it was only fair, after the season that the Union had just had, wrapping up the Supporter Shield the weekend prior, to allow that same conversation to be had with Union fans, and to just give you guys an opportunity to tell us about the team that you guys are the most passionate about, because I believe in full transparency, and I believe in learning from people who are smarter than me in any particular field, whether it be sports or elsewhere. And so what I wanted to do was give Union fans the open forum to tell us about the team and teach us, what makes this team go, why the academy is great, why Jim Curtin's great, and why exactly they won the Supporter Shield. So I think that it was just something that Union fans deserved to do for a couple hours, and it was awesome.
So, technically, are you still an employee of 97.5 Devin, not recording?
All right, just keep going. It's fine. Something's weird going
Okay.
on. Just keep going.
So follow-up question to that, are you technically still an employee on 97.5 after that stunt you pulled?
I am. I am. Thankfully, happily employed, and I appreciate the job that they allow me to keep.
And it's funny, like 97.5 is pretty much my go-to on sports talk. It's that, and of course our friend of the pod, Sean Brace, Joe Tanzi, when they're on for Talking Union Soccer, and the other station, I can't think. Adam, when's the last time you listened to that garbage down that dial?
That's asking me the last time I listened to Slop, and never. That's the answer to that.
So you
Actually,
don't listen to the pod.
No, I mean, I also don't listen to my own podcast, so that's the reason why I do that. So
Fair enough.
That's okay. I hate listening to myself. Like listening to playbacks and things like that. I hate listening to myself.
Why? I've actually listened to this podcast maybe like 6 times the whole way through an episode without me having to stop it and just be like, "What am I doing?" Just like, why? Why is that my voice?
You have a
Why would
voice
I
in
say
your
those
head.
things?
Like the voice that's in your head, the way you think you sound, and then you go back and listen on recording. You're like, really? That's how I sound?
Oh no, I'm pretty sure. I think in my mind I sound like most people on NPR, with just like the smoothest baritone and just like the voice coming in, which is like magneticism. But I come out, I'm like, wow, that's terrible.
And you never stumble on words or say that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's great listening to yourself. It's very humbling. It really is. I try to do it in the shower, then I can cry in the shower and no one, including my girlfriend, can hear that. So I drown out the tears with shower.
I appreciate that. You know, that's a very vulnerable side of you, Matt, that you're really displaying with the public, and I appreciate
I'm
that.
I'm trying to share as we're on YouTube, you know, just because that never goes away. That never goes away. So Tyler, why don't you just a little background on you? I know Penn State,
Mm-hmm.
and then you've been back here for a while. Are you local to the Philly area, or
Yeah. So born and raised in Bensalem. So I spent all my time in Bucks County. Went to high school at Father Judge, so right in the Northeast, and then I went to Penn State. And right out of college, I took a job in like the Rehoboth Beach, Lewis, Delaware area.
Oh, nice.
So I was there for like a little less than a year. That was my first professional job, and then I came back to the Fanatic and originally was on the ground crew, handing out the stuff and just
Bumper
being around,
stickers and stickers.
being around the broadcast as much as I could, and luckily happened to be in the right place at the right time. And I had interned with the Fanatic when I was still in school, and just happened to be at the right place at the right time, and was able to join the production side of things, and then been there. I've been at the Fanatic now since September of 2017, so we're going on for my 4th year.
Ah, that's awesome. Sounds of the Delmarva. Ladies and gents, just so you know,
Yes.
you can call in to 267-762-7633. Sounds of the Delmarva. No, I'm just kidding.
I feel like that's like a nice. I'm not sure if it's like a country album. Is it a folk album? And am I buying it late night on television? Like Sounds of the Delmar. I just
The
Infomercial, without a doubt.
that
absolutely.
Rehoboth Beach area is so weird because there's that little southern Delaware, northern Maryland hickish. Then there's the money coming from D.C. and Baltimore. Like, that is a melting pot of what the hell is going on here. And then you get the Ocean City people that come up. That's a crazy place to live at, man.
I didn't say it. You said it.
Matt is our resident. Let me offend half of the base that we're trying to bring in that's actually listening to us. It's a good game he plays. I like him.
Adam, unless Colgate toothpaste is going to sponsor us, we don't need the people from the Delmarva Peninsula.
Man, here's the thing though. Could Colgate sponsor us? Because like buying toothpaste has become a bit of a nuisance for me. I feel like I go through too much. So, you know.
We might have to review that. Devin is lip syncing right now. Devin, do we have anybody coming on, or are you just chatting with friends over there? I think Devin's just having a good time by himself.
So here's the thing. Another peel behind the curtain real quick. We had a lovely conversation like all day yesterday. And by lovely conversation, I mean like me and Devin were trying to play tag with each other by saying he could hear me, I couldn't hear him. I could hear him, he couldn't hear me. And this was us trying to test out this mechanism, which I'm sure he's doing very well with right now himself. But it was a very fun game yesterday, just trying to play the proverbial phone tag in 2020, you know.
Well, I think we have our first caller
We do.
in history. So I'm going to say this is Rob from Royersford. Rob, go
Let's
for
get
us,
him on
buddy.
here. Little delay here. Hold on. There we
Awkward
go.
pause.
Awkward
Rob's
silence.
cursing.
There we go. Rob, you're on the air.
Oh my
Rob,
God.
you're live on the air. Come on, buddy.
First
Come on.
time, long time.
I'm just shocked this works, but all right, cool. I'm here.
Okay,
for
Rob,
it.
you got 15 more
First time,
seconds.
long
Let's
time.
go, buddy.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah. Well, what you got, guy? What you got?
So, I'm so excited to call into the Matt's Mickey moments. So sorry. Wrong podcast. So, oh no, there's Disney Dreams discussion. Okay, no, I'm sorry. Oh, Sons of Ped the Pot. I'm sorry. Somebody just gave me the phone and just said to call in and talk.
That's
so,
fair.
wanted to actually ask you guys how you feeling about the whole Tommy Smith announcement today.
Ooh.
Adam, do you want to take that, or should I let people know what's going on?
Matt, what? Okay, why don't you let people know what's going on, because I don't know things, and I would like to not sound uninformed.
So apparently the union and their broadcast partners, which will remain nameless, decided to let legendary broadcaster Tommy Smith, but it's spelled Smythe, Tommy go. So I don't know who's going to replace him, but Tommy, legendary broadcaster, is let go right now. Adam, you know Tommy. Why don't you take this, and then I'm going to try to channel a sports talk radio host to really talk about this.
Oh, I'm not supposed to channel the Sports Talk Radio host. You want me to actually be a real person right now? Okay, let me be a real person with this. Look, man, this is sad. You know, I know that Mr. Smith was not everyone's cup of tea. I'm gonna be the first to acknowledge that, but I appreciate the fact that the union wanted to bring in a reputable and recognizable voice for their broadcast. They already brought in the legend JP Dellacamera and to team him up with a man like Tommy Smith. I mean, his impact on the Sons of Ben is well known. We literally do a dupe in the onion bag for after every goal when we could. So it's something that became a part of our lore, and you know, I always brag about the fact that Philadelphia has easily some of the best broadcasters in the country for every single sport they got. You know, it just across the board. I want to hear Merrill talk about football. I want to hear, L.A. and Fransky get down with baseball. I want to hear, Tom McGinnis give me my Sixers basketball. But these guys are stalwarts of the industry, and like even on the to lose Tommy Smith to me, it kind of makes me feel I'm losing a piece of the union a little bit. But I'm excited to see what they're trying to do with it.
I'm sad for two people, and then I have a question. Two people I'm sad for. Tommy, of course, but I'm sure he's going to bounce back and be okay.
I mean, he's
really
still on Sirius XM.
I'm really sad for Kevin Kincaid, because his podcast is going to suffer without words that end with a little R. So Kevin, I'm sorry, man. You're going to have to get some new bits. That's like me losing the Jim Curtin fake quote of the week.
Oh my
That
God.
would hurt deep.
It's
That
the
would
letter
hurt-
A, Matt, but we'll let it slide here.
Whatever, And my question is, does this mean Pappas is back? Oh, is that too soon? Tyler,
I
this
mean,
guy was
hey.
he was one of our broadcasters, and he got thrown in jail. So it's trying to catch Tyler up on.
Just Rob in the background.
Yeah.
It's like
I
the
think
soundbite of the entire pod.
I think that Adam made a really good point. This city is truly, really blessed to have some really good play-by-play and color commentators for just about everything.
Oh yeah.
So the unfortunate part is until you figure out who the next person is going to be, who's going to kind of fill those shoes, you can get excited and at the same time have a little bit of sadness because you're used to a certain style, you're used to a certain broadcast, and so it's I guess you're kind of in a little bit of limbo until you figure out who that next voice is going to be.
Yeah, and I feel bad for anyone who's got to step into his shoes because he is a legend in soccer broadcasting. I thought we were lucky to get him. So I feel bad for whoever's going to try to pick up that mantle, and he was a good friend of the Sons of Ben. Devin, guess what? If you call into 267-762-7633, it's half past the hour. The lines are lit, but you can still get in.
All right. We'll see who else we got next here.
Yeah, Devin, who do we got next?
We have somebody in the queue. I'm just gonna guess off the top here. I'm gonna guess that this is Justin. Hold on. I gotta hit the buttons, Matt. I'm not that quick with the buttons.
Is it what's the one from New York?
Trying to give you Anchorman is what I'm trying to give you.
All right, Justin, you are on the air.
Oh my God, I can't believe it.
All right, Justin, hurry up. We got commercials to get to.
Sponsorships, guys.
You know, yards, 2SP, the Larimer, you know.
I got a two-part CCL question.
Oh boy.
First part, is it sad that Montreal might be the closest we come to an MLS team competing in this year's CCL? And two, what are your guys' opinion on the crap show that was Atlanta getting awarded the last CCL spot just because they were the reigning U.S. Open Cup champs?
Wait, Devin, there's
There's a what?
an echo in my headphones.
Echo.
Yeah, me both.
It's everywhere.
Yeah.
Is
yeah,
that better?
I have an echo. Yes.
I
Hey.
know, Devin.
So we can cut that in the podcast. so
Emmy
people saw that
awards are
live.
coming everywhere
Look.
for this pod.
Honestly, I feel like this is a masterclass in showing how good Devin is as a producer, so he can do this on the fly. You know, there might be some. It's not the fact that the ship is tight to begin with, but he's a good patcher of holes. But hey,
I'm here for
It
it.
is-
That's all I'm here for.
so look, first off, I believe that it is sad that Montreal is going to be our probably best representative again in the CONCACAF Champions League. It's not shocking to me because this is the problem when you play this tournament the way that we play it, and it's kind of in off seasons for us. Is a lot of times these teams are in transitions, and the transition that every single one of these teams that were in the Champions League were bad. Like Los Angeles is not a good football club right now. You know, LAFC is not good right now. New York Football Club, not good right now. You want to look at a team like the Montreal. Montreal didn't have a good season. Like all the teams that were in this, Atlanta didn't have a good season. All the teams that are in the Champions League right now are kind of like terrible right now at soccer. So I'm not shocked to see that the MLS is getting wrecked right now in Champions League. That being said, I do hope that the form that the Union will be in going into this, that, you know, Columbus may be in going into this, will give us better representation next go around. You know, it's my hope, but there is something to be said about having teams in form going into the Champions League and having teams that are literally figuring out who's going to coach them next year, and then figuring out who their number 10 is next year. You know.
All right, Justin from Jenkintown. Let me channel my inner Mike Missinelli. Justin, you don't understand. You need to be a second level thinker. You should understand. I'm a graduate of Cabrini Community College, Widener University of Law, and my level of thinking is on the second level. So what you want to understand is 2020, we had this pandemic plague that came down. Nobody cares about this tournament. We're only worried about 2021, okay? Get on that next level of thinking and go 2021 thinking. When your Philadelphia Union will be going against Tijuana and San Jose and everybody else. And then think about that. Do not worry about the past. This is the past. Get on that next level of thinking.
I
will be
really
the
hope
emperor of the
Oh,
world.
my bad.
I really hope the Cabrini Community College told you that we're playing literally none of those teams in the Champions League that you just mentioned. Like literally none of them qualified.
Adam, do not get on my level of thinking, okay? You're not
No,
there yet.
apparently not. Also, shout out to Cabrini College because where are they? Wayne, PA. Anyway,
And
so,
there it is.
Hey, you walked me right into that one, and I appreciate the waltz. It was a
All
good
right,
promenade.
Justin. Anything else before we let you go here?
We have to answer the second part of this question.
Oh, there was a second part. I don't know
Oh,
if you got
that's
through
true,
that
yeah.
one.
Yeah, the second part of his question was, do we think it's a farce that Atlanta United is playing in the Champions League because they won that U.S. Open Cup last year?
No, it makes sense. It makes
No,
sense.
it's absolutely a
It
farce.
makes sense.
It's
It makes
absolutely
sense.
a farce.
So did you read the explanation of why they
I
did it?
did.
It makes
I
sense.
did.
It makes
Atlanta
sense.
Atlanta was boo-boo. You've rewarded boo-boo-ness,
Yes,
and I don't
well-
appreciate that. Atlanta was if Atlanta was actually a mediocre club last year, I would have said, look, MLS needs to do well in this tournament. And you made a rule up. This is a rule up that you made up. This was not a rule that was already in place. You could have made this however you chose. You chose the back
Listen.
order in Atlanta in here.
Here's
No.
the
Send
I know
Kansas
you
City. Give us hope.
I know we don't like logic on this podcast, but
Never.
they needed a
No,
way
we like logic, we don't like facts.
they needed
Totally
a way
different.
to somehow make the people in the lower divisions happy, because if they just threw in another MLS team in there that eliminated all the lower league teams, and they lose all their hope. And if this happens again, then the precedent's already set to just put an MLS team in there. So, that being said, it makes sense that they used the previous year's U.S. Open winner, and because they didn't have a U.S. Open Cup this year, so it is what it is. All right, Justin, thanks for calling in.
No problem.
All right. I mean, guys, before we get to the next caller, I guess instead of talking about Atlanta, let's talk about another team that we are not thrilled with. MLS Cup just happened.
Yes.
I was wrong. I forget who else was wrong. Was it just me?
I was also wrong. I'm pretty sure I picked Seattle.
And Tyler, did you have a pick in that fight
To win
I
the
mean,
whole
did
thing?
you- Yeah, well,
I picked
Columbus
Seattle.
versus we all had Seattle, except I
I
think
picked
Devin,
Seattle.
who's usually the biggest mush in the world, I think picked Columbus. And Tyler, you should know
I think in
because
fact
you were.
I think in fact I picked Seattle to win the whole thing before the playoffs even started.
Being a proud
a
alumni
safe
coming
pick.
from State College, you can agree with us. Columbus, Ohio is the armpit of America.
Oh, it
correct?
stinks. Totally stinks.
Yeah. So nobody wanted these hee-haw loving mofos to win the MLS Cup, but they won in form. Adam, any thoughts on that? That was like they took him behind the woodshed and just whooped them.
So there is possibly a benefit of being an armpit is people hate playing there because they seem to have a decent style fortress there at the McAfee, the Coliseum drive-in movie theater that they just closed down for forever. I'm actually really excited to see their new downtown stadium, but look,
Wait, they have a downtown?
there's a
It's
couple
like
of
4
buildings. Yeah, there's a couple of buildings. There's a PNC, I'm sure. and
Hockey
then, yeah.
arena?
Yeah, right. Blue Jackets. No, it's actually so. I also found it very interesting that they took the MLS Cup trophy to Cleveland. So so Columbus just claimed Cleveland. They're just so they took it to the Browns game, and they're just like, this is fine because you can't take it to Cincinnati. Obviously, they have their own team. But as long as Cleveland doesn't have a team, they're just like, nope, this is our territory as well. So they took it to a Browns game. I loved that. I love when teams are just like, this is us. This is ours. I don't I like that. But I mean, look, better team in the game. I wouldn't say the better team on paper, but Seattle just didn't get off the bus.
Yeah, I do attribute that to no one ever wants to be in Columbus, let alone play there. But here's the thing. Here's my question, Adam, and maybe Tyler, you can get in on this. They did have that fortress, their old stadium. Now it's going to get crumbled down like the Vet, and they're getting a brand new stadium, a la the Link.
Mm-hmm.
Are now they going to be destined to suck because they have a really friendly, nice stadium, and teams will be like, shit, it ain't that bad playing here. They don't have the bad turf.
How many Super Bowls did the Eagles win in the Vet?
I'm going to say none.
How many did they win in the Link?
None in the Link. They
I mean,
won right away.
how many did they win as tenants of?
One.
Okay.
Look, man, stadiums don't. Their surfaces surround the things. I'm happy that MLS is getting brand new stadiums, especially in these downtowns, because we need MLS out of the suburbs. Chester is a city, so I don't count them as a suburb. Chester's Pennsylvania's 7th largest city, so they count as a real actual place. but we need to get like the Bridgeviews, the Carsons, all these places where we put these MLS teams to begin with, because we thought, hey, let's just appeal to either Latinos in the city or suburban white people. Let's not do that anymore. Let's put these stadiums downtown. So I'm happy for Austin. I'm happy for Columbus. I'm happy for all these clubs getting brand new digs. Here's the thing. I pray authentically that the Revs get a stadium in Boston because I want to go visit. I don't want to go to Foxborough. There's nothing tantalizing to me about going to the away match in Foxborough.
Devin's buzzing in. Apparently, we've got a call on the 267-762-7633, the Yards hotline. Kyle from
So I can stop
Kensington.
filibustering? Fantastic.
Kyle from Kensington, you're on. Do your parents know you're calling?
Oh, baby, Kyle.
I did call with parent permission. I feel kind of bad about last time, so I feel I have to ask my question again, but this time Devin can't botch it. So I just want to know simply. I simply want to know how everyone's doing. But this time Matt gets to go first, and then Tyler, and then you guys can figure it out. Because Matt didn't get to go last time.
Kyle, that's why you're my favorite. I'm doing great. This pandemic has just not killed my spirit. We're gonna move on. Adam, I think he wants to know how Tyler's doing, and then you.
To speak in the third person,
well,
Tyler's
doing
well as well. So I think that luckily that I think that we're getting, obviously getting the NBA. We've gotten the NBA back with preseason, the NHL in January. We just had a really successful run with the MLS playoffs as well, and the MLS's back cup, and the NFL has been, it's had some hiccups, but it's been entertaining to say the least. So I think that from a sports standpoint, everything's been great, and then from a personal standpoint, can't complain.
Yeah, good to hear. Good to hear.
Adam,
you're up.
Oh, hi. I'm good.
All right,
That's
good. Good content,
I'm
you
good.
guys.
I'm
Thanks,
good.
Great
Kyle.
content.
Enjoy Kensington.
Yeah,
buddy.
This is beautiful
I
content.
just wanted my
Look.
question answered properly this time.
Yeah, no, I appreciate
enough.
it. It's good. I'm good, Kyle.
I'm
Appreciate
glad
it.
I didn't bonk it this time. You're welcome. Thanks for calling, Kyle.
No
So,
problem.
Devin,
Have a good
we've
one,
got-
guys.
Go Eagles.
Oh, bird.
So, Devin, we've got another caller. Is that
We've got
correct?
another caller.
Heather from Hatfield, you're on the air with the Sons of Ben the Pod guys and special guest Tyler Zulli. What you got for us?
First time caller, long time listener. Thanks for taking my call, guys.
Glad to be here.
Appreciate it.
So this question's actually for Tyler. So we at Subaru Park, we hold about roughly, I think, what the Flyers can hold in their bowl, and so when the Union's doing well, that stadium's fully packed. So I know that we have the interest for seeing Union games that we have on par with, say, the Flyers in particular. But for a while, MLS was the only one that was on during COVID, and then the Union just continued to get hot and do well. Have you seen over the last couple of years the Union move the needle at all in terms of city interest, particularly this past season?
Yeah, I mean, I think I can only speak for shows that I've been a part of and operated and either produced or host. I think so, for sure. I think that it is a difficult scale to balance between, it's kind of like a chicken or the egg, which one came first. And when you discuss, is it the interest as high as, let's say, like you mentioned, the Flyers versus, do we talk about it enough? But I think for certain, I mean, this year specifically, absolutely, just because of the sheer success of the team, and obviously Jim Curtin winning an award, Andre Blake winning an award, the team winning the Supporter Shield. So I think it certainly has, and it will continue to do so. I mean, I think that it will always be an Eagles first town, and then everything else kind of slates in. But I don't see any reason as to why the conversation shouldn't continue and continue to gain traction as we go along.
Adam, you want to take a swing at that? I know it was only for Tyler, but we know you've got opinions.
Well, you know me. I'm on the pulse of Philadelphia sports radio these days, so I know exactly what the people are trying to talk about. No, I mean, look, I think the Union have made inroads into the Philadelphia sports conversation. How deep it is, we can discuss that at a later date. But I definitely believe that much more people are aware of the day to day and what's going on. And we got a couple of characters on here. We got Andre Blake and Alejandro Bedoya, guys who are like magnetic kind of personalities. So I think they have a good potential to grow. And coincidentally enough, it seems like they're one of the only two well-run organizations in the city. So they have probably the better upside than a lot of other things going on right now. So I think we got a good future.
And I don't want to speak for Tyler, but I got to assume that Union fans are so much more welcoming to people coming into the fold than Flyers fans are. I mean, I think Flyers had a whole list of people that weren't allowed on the bandwagon when the Flyers made the playoffs this year. So I got to say, Union fans for Sports Talk Radio are really going to be engaged and ready to go when you guys pulled out the welcome mat,
I think that that's really fair. Just even from just the few hours that we discussed it a couple weeks ago, and then followed up, a few weeks later, it was a lot of, hey, come down to Subaru Park. When we're allowed to get back and go to games and be the fan base, arm in arm and all standing together and things like that. It was very welcoming from the jump, and it was a fan base that is willing to teach and is willing to accept fans, even like myself, who are in the professional industry but are still learning and still growing as a fan and someone who wants to speak more about the game. I mean, just you guys welcoming me to the happy hour, you guys having me on today, there's never been any kind of like, no, you're not a fan. It was just, come on, we'll teach you. You can learn along the way, and you can join, our group, and it'll be great.
Yeah, suck that Phantom fans, Get on board.
If they brought the Phantoms back, I'd be so hype. Like, I want all of Philadelphia
You
minor
want the soul
leagues.
back too, come on.
I want all of the, quote, minor league sports of Philadelphia to come back. I want the Phantoms back. I want the Kicks back. I want the Rage back. I want the Charge, not the Independence. I want the Charge back. Like, I want 90s, early 2000s, not quite the professionals Philadelphia sports back, because they were the ones who won championships of my youth. I saw 2 Calder Cups, multiple Arena Bowls. People won championships in Philly. It just wasn't the big four, per se,
Now remember, 267-762-7633. Devin, who do you got on these packed, lit up lines?
What's up?
All right, let me do the job. I think we got Jared from Jenkintown.
I was currently screening a call, and then I came back and it was silent, and I was like, "Oh, this can't be good." So there it is. All right.
Jared from Jenkintown, do Devin's job and tell us what you got.
Yeah, hey guys, it's Jared from Lancashire.
Lancashire.
Jenkintown. Okay, good. What you got out there besides the Amish people? You got a real phone? Let's hear you.
No, I'm using a dial phone. I got a long cord that I took from the kitchen all the way to my room. So yeah, we don't know how to do things down in Lancashire.
I hope Kerry Kittles didn't give you a calling card.
What reference
that may have happened.
Holy.
Google it.
Like.
So, Jared, what you got there? I know you got very limited time on that prison card you got. So, what you got?
Yeah. So it's our favorite time of year. It's transfer rumor season. So I want to know what is on your wish list for this year. Obviously, we could use a 10. There's been talks about a striker. I know Ozil's available. I don't think we'll get him, but what are we looking at?
Adam, do you want to? You take the honors on this one. Then we're going to get Tyler's thoughts on what we want for a wish list, because I think he's got middle relief. I think he's got.
Look, all right, I'll I'll take anyone who resembles J.C. Romero as a lefty specialist, please.
Re-sign JT Realmuto.
If you could just get the entire 2008 bullpen back, I'll take that. Just the Scott Air, Chad
2024,
Durbin.
by the way.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that one too. Oh my man, Ryan Madsen when he convinced everyone he was a closer, but he was always a setup guy. That one, I want that one. Anyway, I mean, look, you got to get another number 10. Obviously, I get it now. I mean, I kind of got it going into the season that this year was about showcasing Brendan Aronson, and he did not disappoint. And then we sold him for big money. That was a FIFA move. That was if I was playing FIFA, the video game, and I had a prospect that I brought along, I would not get a number 10 for a season, play them, and then sell them for big money. And that's exactly what the Union did. And I respect the hustle 1,000%. That being said, I would love for them to bring in a huge name. But that's not our style, and it's usually been decent. Like with number 10s, Fabian was an issue because he was hurt. But when you look at the history, Barnetta, Doshkal, we've had a Maradona. Like we've had good history of bringing in not really well-known guys to come in and do something really impressive. So I'm trusting the Ernst Tanner experience to bring me in a number 10 that works. Striker-wise, literally anybody who I've heard of. Just literally any person who's prolific. Can we get Sturridge? Daniel Sturridge, he's bored in the Premier League somewhere. Like, who can we just throw an exorbitant amount of money to come to Chester? Because that's what you have to do. Like, you're going to have to overpay for them to show up in Philly. So I need someone who's willing to come to America, kind of over the hill so they have no other options, but still good enough to put 20 goals in America, and doesn't mind playing in Chester, Pennsylvania. That's a hard task.
I'm going opposite of you, Adam. I'm going. I want to have Ernst Tanner just find another burner, another Sergio. Doesn't have to be a name guy. You know, we don't need that. I want somebody that hasn't proven themselves yet, and we'll be all right. You know, I mean, I trust in Ernst. I agree. We need a 10. We probably need a center back, but the academy's kind of filling in nicely. So I'm not as panicked this offseason as I was last. You know, so now, Jared, do you have anybody that you're hoping to get? You named somebody that was on Arsenal that survived a mugging and couldn't get back on the field.
I don't know if anybody wants anybody from Arsenal right now, though.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean,
best
I think
commercials
right now,
in the game, though.
I think I would prefer a 10 over a striker. I think we're looking pretty all right at the striker. I mean, you got Burke, you got Shabelko, and you got Santos. Like, would it be nice to have a fourth? Yes, but I don't think it's necessary. So I think having a playmaking, kind of flashy, but flashy enough, or not flashy enough that he still gets it done and doesn't pull whoever the Juventus striker was today trying to back heel and completely missing it. But it'd be nice to have just that playmaker in the middle outside of Miro who can dish it as well as finish it. And off the top of my head, I don't know who that person is, but I definitely think 10 is the way to go. I mean, we got a lot of money to work with. We got Aronson money, potentially McKenzie money. We could get a pretty good, not necessarily prospect, but a well-known player.
Well, I don't know if the money's going to match, but he's not a 10. He's number 11, Carson Wentz. We could get him. What do you think, guys?
They probably got $30 million sitting around somewhere.
I honestly believe Carson Wentz would have been a really good soccer player if someone gave him, that as a life choice. I think he's got the body for it. I think that would work really well.
I'm not sure about from the Dakotas.
I almost came in with a Hurts-Wentz question just to play the Philly Sports Radio card for a hot second.
Nate Sufeld. We're going with Nate. That's the quarterback of the future.
Tyler has, I'm pretty sure, heard enough of the Wentz-Hurts debacle.
I see him shaking his head.
Look, the question we have to really ask about that discussion is, if this team continues to lose, why don't you just draft Trevor Lawrence and call it a day? What are we doing here?
Well, that requires the Jets to be an actual NFL football team, so
the Jets are intentionally trying to lose, and we all know that. So that is something phenomenal to me, and I feel bad for Sam Darnold because he deserves at least some defense in his life. But that is hilarious. Anyway, Continue. I'm sorry. I got sucked.
All right, Jared, thanks so much. Devin, it looks like we've got, is it Mike from Manayunk on the line right now?
Mike from Morristown.
Oh, Mike from Morristown.
Mike from Morristown.
Morris or
Morristown,
Mike.
New Jersey.
Mike, are you on from South Jersey?
It's Mike on a cell.
Oh, Mike on the mobile.
Michael.
Mike on the mobile. Man, Mike on T-Mobile. Welcome to the T-Mobile studios. What you got for us, Mike?
Gaddis, in or out of the Ring of Honor? I'll hang up and listen. Thanks.
Thanks a lot,
Ray
Mike.
Gaddis is in the Ring of Honor. I don't know how he doesn't get that status, you know. And I think if he scores a goal, it actually will subtract from his Ring of Honor status. That's a hot take.
It's got to be retired Ray Gaddis, and yes, Ring of Honor, without a doubt.
Gotta be. That's a no-brainer.
Tyler, your thoughts on Ray Gaddis?
I would, again, I always tell you guys I'm as transparent as I can be. In my limited knowledge, I would agree. If you guys don't mind, I'm gonna go back to that. Can we go back to that transfer question for a second?
Oh yeah,
yes,
definitely.
I don't want to derail your show.
No, Mike,
this
you've
is
been
derailed from the
steamrolled.
beginning.
Deal with it.
So I guess to answer that transfer question, my biggest wait and see is he brought him up. Is Mark McKenzie gonna be transferred? Is Kai Wagner gonna be transferred?
No.
So the what I've heard from my sources, which it's not Ernst Tanner, it's not, but it's people in the team. Europe has been crying a little poor, so they're getting offers, but nothing that they're like, yeah. So it'll be in the summer. So I think they'll be back with us, and I think they both will understand. Okay, we didn't get the deal we wanted, so I'm back, but by June, July, they will be gone. So I think we have them for this time, but only for half a season, and that's it. Like right now, they'd have to be gone between now and January.
Sure.
I don't think it's going to happen because Europe is still trying to cry poor like everybody else in sports.
Well,
but there's the interest is there, so I think we've got them for the first half of the season.
So I think that would be where I would kind of consider playing to that notion that it's definitely likely that at some point in the near future they'll be gone. Now, I would think, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, I would think that Elliott would step into one of those roles. So I guess the question to me would be, I would look at one of the other back positions as a transfer target.
When you look at it, you have your starters for the foreseeable future on your back line. Even if McKenzie goes, you can put Elliott and Glesnes there because there's a reason why Elliott was played pretty much every single minute 2 seasons ago. So that wasn't, an accident. Jack Elliott is more than capable of being that individual who does that for this team. So I would love that. I think that you could always upgrade from Ray Gaddis. That's not something I can't sit here and deny from. You can upgrade from a Kai Wagner, and you're probably going to have to eventually when he moves on. And are you going to put Matt Real in that position? Cool. If Matt Real is as good as we would hope he is, he might be on the move in 2 to 3 years. So it's always a kind of a carousel with this. Again, I make the joke all the time, but the Union, if this is going to be the way we operate, and it's probably going to have to, this is going to be a very Ajax-y situation if they're going to be good but then produce a lot of talent. So you have to be prepared for, okay, we're going to lose this guy in 4 years. What's next? We're going to lose this guy in 3 years. What's next? Because it's just like, you've already signed Paxton Aronson, Brendan's little brother, at 16. Do you expect him to be here when he's 20? I don't think you do. So then what's your next step? Like, are you prepared for that next move? Are you prepared? And here's the thing. As far as we know with the academy, we could just keep producing people. That U12 team that we sent down to Brazil that beat half of the universe, 5 years from now, they could just be like, we're ready. You want to play us now? Like, that could just be how that goes, and that's beautiful. But, like, if you're Ernst Tanner in this situation, you have to be always thinking about what's next, because if these guys are good, if your team is good, there is a conversation about half of the Union right now leaving the Union because of one quality season, because of their low budget, but a lot of talent, you know? So
if you guys, with obviously with Aronson on the move to Austria and signing his little brother, the depth is super young at that center mid position. Does that concern you guys at all?
Well, it's not that. I'm not worried. See, the thing is, it's hard to get worried about a position not having depth because I know Ernst can go out one window and fill 2 spots with like 2 nobodies and we'll be fine.
It's funny because normally I would, as a Philadelphia fan, I'd be panicked about putting youth/rookies in, but soccer, not even the MLS, but you look at the Bundesliga, even Premier League, you're watching teenagers take over. You look at the U.S. men's national team, and there's maybe 7 guys that can get a beer legal in the United States, and the rest. So soccer is becoming a very youth-oriented sport, almost more than the NBA was 6-7 years ago, where you're seeing 19-year-olds dominate the league. So now it's weird. It doesn't worry me. There's other things that worry me about the Union, holes that they might have, more than those guys coming in. I'm more worried about for Paxton Aronson coming in, that people are immediately going to think he's his brother. And his brother, and we talked about it with him, he got in at a sweet spot where there were no expectations. He was the backup to a big star that we picked up. He came in and played in Atlanta in front of 67,000 crazed Atlanta fans and did well. And then he just kept progressing. Where now I think everyone's hopes and dreams for Brendan is on 17-year-old Paxton, where I'm like, let this kid, get some games in. Like, I hope we don't Philadelphia him. Yeah. Is my biggest concern. Other than that, no, I feel pretty good. Like we've talked to his father on the pod. We've talked to Brendan. I mean, they are all like, no, this kid's good. Like Adam and I think, saw him play in an academy game a year or 2 ago against Red Bull. The kid is that little nasty a-hole that you want on your team, but you would hate on another team. Like he is just a ferocious. So no, I kind of feel good about him and some of these young guys coming in. And like Devin said, in Ernst we trust. This isn't Howie Roseman, trying to look at talent and not knowing what he's looking at. This guy has got a network all over the world, and he's pulled some guys out of the 3rd German division that now the Premier League is looking at.
And I'm not even worried about losing players. It's like if Ernst has another 2 or 3 good windows, not even 2 or 3, 1 or 2 good windows, and guys start producing again, we might lose Ernst. I mean, he already has European connections, and there's always clubs looking for guys like Ernst. And I'd be more worried losing him than I am losing Brendan Aronson.
Well, yeah. But the thing about this is, and I mean, look, maybe it's just me. Maybe I put too much stock on this, but like, Anthony Fontana's 21. And he's obviously showed this season that he wants the ball. I don't know why that's not a number 10 option here. I don't know why that's not a filler option here. I mean, look, I don't legitimately. The kid scored how many goals and how many appearances last season? He put together a really reputable campaign, and he's of age. He's not a child. He's a legal drinking adult now. I think you can put him in for this season and at least see, what's going on for a hot second. I don't think it's a disaster if that man's your number 10 starting the season now, because you have a very solid veteran core in the midfield behind him. And I look, and what you really need is, because our strikers occasionally go cold. Shabilko had a great assist total. His goal total was not even nearly what it was a season ago. Corey Burke came in and was a hurricane. We know he can sometimes get quiet. Santos has his moments where he can not get on goal. So you need to have a goal-sniffing number 10, especially if you're going to run a diamond for the foreseeable future. that is exactly what Fontana is. So
Listen, Adam getting all X's and O's on us, man. We are not X's
We've
and
been,
O's.
we've been
No.
heavy
but-
X's and O's today.
no, but look,
I
they
know.
asked the question. I'll give them the answer. I think
Yeah.
that you can still do something here without breaking the bank on a number 10. I'd rather get a prolific striker. I would, because we saw with Columbus is when you have that DP, it makes all of the difference. You know, when you have that level of a DP, it makes all the difference. And we got to pretend for at least we're a bigger market than Columbus. You know, we got to pretend we could harness a bigger club than Columbus if we try.
Yeah, and here's the thing, like, and I want everybody to understand. I know we're going long on time, and I want to kind of slowly wrap this up, you know, because we kept Tyler way longer than we promised him. But
Hey, you guys are
One-
teaching me a lot tonight. Like I said, I'm always ready to learn, and even what Adam just said, I learned a ton from just that 2 minutes.
the one thing that Ernst Tanner's done, and this comes from, you know, one of the owners that's a friend of the pod. Not only has he found talent, but when he looks at talent, he doesn't just go, oh, can this guy do X, X, and X on the field? He digs into their background and goes, is this a good guy in the locker room? Because they don't want that cancerous, big free agent player or cocky 18-year-old coming from Europe and being like, shit, man, I'm in MLS. I want to be in the Premier League. I don't need this crap. Like, he wants guys that are like, you know what? You got a long season. You're going to start. Maybe you're going to come from the bench. You're going to do this. You better practice hard. And he researches that because, especially with a team like the Union where we're built from the youth up, you can't have a bunch of divas because that's just going to poison the well of the youth academy. So whatever we pick, I pray it's not a diva, you know, TO-ish person. Or and I'm not saying just on the field, kind of like you want someone that's like, okay, you know, I don't want a Jimmy Butler right now. As much as I love Jimmy Butler on the court, I don't want a Jimmy Butler in the locker room.
I'll take a Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, you will, but
I
no.
think I would second that.
On the
I'd take-
Union,
I'll take a
I would
leader
take
like
a
that.
Jimmy Butler, like
Yeah.
a killer.
Not if it's
Yeah.
not if it's going to screw up those 5 kids coming from the academy, and they start thinking they can act.
Look,
a
if you
certain
want to
way.
talk Sixers for a second, we can do this real quick. All right. The reason why Jimmy Butler left Philadelphia is because Brett Brown and the organization had no
I
idea what the
agree.
bleep they were doing. The Jimmy
And
Butler
Ben
should.
Simmons didn't like him.
Well, even if he did it, Jimmy Butler should still be a 76er to this moment right now. They should have chased a championship last year with Jimmy Butler, but it's because of the incompetence of the organization that led a star like Jimmy Butler to go, and then to sign a guy like Al Horford for 9 bleeping figures at the age that he was at. But here's the thing. We already talked about the fact that we have an incompetent baseball team organization, we have an incompetent football organization, and up until 5 minutes ago, we had an incompetent 76ers organization, which I trust Daryl Morey, but somehow Elton Brand still has employment. So if we want to talk about things that I'm still confused about, and you want to talk about Sixers basketball, yeah, let's talk about it real quick. I'd rather have a Jimmy Butler playing for the Union in a hot second, because you know what he would do? End lives, and that's the one thing the Union are missing is a straight goal-scoring killer. If we had that, we would be the most dominating team in MLS, and it wouldn't even be close.
All right, now before Matt tries to wrap it up here, Adam, here's another topic you'd love to talk about. Eric, in the chat here, he wants to know if the Philadelphia Fusion are still a Philly team now that they have relocated to South Korea. What do you think?
I think they're more of a Philly team now because of it. Because they're going to carry the Philadelphia banner across overseas. Like they're going to carry the Philadelphia personality over to Seoul, Korea, and it's going to be because here's the thing. It's iron sharpens iron. The Pacific APEC League was much better than North America this year. It was obvious because the Fusion were so good against North America but couldn't win finals. That's what happens when you're playing inferior competition the whole time. You don't sharpen the sword, you smell yourself. You know, you feel yourself, and you don't necessarily take yourself seriously. Now they're going to go over there and have to play Seoul and Shanghai and Guangzhou, and they're going to play these guys day after day after day, and iron sharpens iron. This is when the Fusion win championships right here. So I'm here for this. I just hate the fact that I have to get up in 4 a.m. to watch them now.
Tyler, I gotta ask, do you watch any of this Fusion Rocket League?
I will tell you this. I am horrible absolutely terrible at Overwatch.
Tyler's my favorite guest.
Whoa! Let him finish. Let him finish.
I watch these teams play Overwatch, and I'm like, you're seeing things that I can't see, and I'm watching you. Like, you're in the moment. I'm watching you play, and I've got nothing. So like when I play that game, I am so like I'm moving like this. Like, I'm so far behind everybody else. I try, believe me. I love playing video games. I'm a big gamer, but I am terrible at that game.
It is.
Well, you know who else is terrible? The Philadelphia Fusion when they play teams in the South Pacific.
Look, man, only when they play Shanghai, occasionally San Francisco, and I guess Seoul, apparently. Look, iron sharpens iron. They're going to come back after this excursion, and they're going to be better than ever. And then when we are allowed to see them in person, you know we're doing a Sons of Ben podcast field trip to a Fusion game.
Cool.
Right? I saw the renderings.
It is awesome.
Oh, man, I'm so excited. I saw the renderings for that, and you know that's going to start like esports with all the colleges. They're all going to have their own little teams. They're going to play at the arena. It's going to be a big 5 in Overwatch. Oh, my. Ooh,
that means Drexel's going to win. It's going to be a big 6.
It's going to be the City 6. Drexel might win a lot of those. No,
Yeah.
Do not sleep on the Temple Owls.
St. Joe's is still going to be using Nintendo 64s.
Look, we just started the comms department when I was a junior there, so yeah, we're going to lag. I definitely believe we're not going to be up to snuff with this. Look, Temple's got one of the best film schools in the country. We're screwed. There's nothing we can do about that.
And what about the Union Esports there? They dropped Jay Ajayi. I guess he wasn't doing too good over there. What he yeah, that what 0-52 ain't doing it for you guys? No.
Yeah, Tyler, did you see that the Union signed Jay Ajayi?
This was a year ago.
I
or
saw
so.
how poorly he was doing, and I feel horrible for the guy.
We've been publicly challenging him to play Adam Booth in a game, and he has been ducking us. If he could duck linebackers the way he's ducking Adam Booth, he'd still be in the NFL.
Well, you know what? I'll pick that up, Adam. I'll play you. You will destroy me, but I'll play you.
Here's the thing: I've now not played FIFA in a calendar year, so I also don't believe I'm good anymore. But I'll still play. Obviously, we'll get this done. We'll get this. I mean, like, this is.
Didn't Fang beat you in a media tournament?
Fang did not beat me. Katie Fellinger totally beat me.
Yeah.
Fang did not beat
listen,
me.
my current franchise team in FIFA is in the Australian Hyundai League, so I got nothing.
This guy, a man after my own heart. Third division soccer for the win. Look,
You got to start from the bottom. You can't start with an EPL team. That doesn't make it any fun.
No, exactly. You got to start from having a Japanese J League team, and then keep getting hired all the way up, and then eventually Chelsea will see you. That's how that.
Now, Tyler, we're gonna wrap up. I promised Devin already, but do you have a horse in the race that's we're calling the Premier League? You've got it.
When I first started tuning into the Premier League, my roommate in college was a huge Man City fan. So that was kind of where I started watching the Premier League. And then, I wouldn't say that I have a team that I root for. I just enjoy watching the games. But I guess if there was any, it would be Man City, which I guess is kind of a cop-out because of how much money they have now. But
10 years ago, that's actually a really hipster choice.
Yeah. Right.
Like that's actually a really.
It's not.
Yeah,
so
10 years
cool
ago, that
anymore.
was Leeds United. That was
Man
the choice you
City,
wanted.
you like losing. All right, cool. You don't expect championships. I like
Yeah,
you.
but I can't say that I hopped on the Leicester bandwagon before they were 500 to 1 odds to win the league.
Look, I feel like everyone should start as a Southampton fan just to feel pain, and then you can promote yourself into being a better fan.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Southampton.
Yeah.
4 in the table right now.
Third place right
Come
now.
on now. Come on,
Look,
Adam.
man, and now they get to feel joy, but how much pain did they feel previous to this? That's the journey. You can't. None of
They've
this
been hanging on to
Boston
the
stuff.
Premier League, so they haven't gotten relegated. So they'll be okay.
Real quick, how's Arsenal doing? Anybody know? Any update on Arsenal? Anybody know? I'm not
Look,
sure.
man, both of our clubs lost. this weekend, so I'm not sure we can rag on Arsenal. But as I told you,
Hold on. Neither of us are in 16th place right now, so
no,
let's
that's
be
very
real.
true. Look, I want to appreciate that commercial that they did drop down for their retro jerseys is one of the best.
Yes, yes.
That was one of the top 10 football commercials I've ever seen in my life. So I'm glad their marketing department at Adidas is still working out really well for them.
Oh man! All right, guys, that was episode 49. Jose Mesa, Tyler. Thanks for being a good sport on this. We've never done this before. We've never taken calls. This was out of the blue, crazy for us. We're glad you stuck it out. We want to have you back on where we can talk some Union. We definitely want you to come out when we've got games and tailgates and be our guest. We're going to get you on the Capo stand with Adam, light some smoke bombs, just get smoke in the lungs and burns on the hands from every time we get a goal. But man, thank you so much for coming on board.
Hey guys, thank you for having me. This was a lot of fun, and like I said, you guys taught me a lot in the last hour and some change. And when we are pandemic free, I will be shoulder to shoulder with you guys, standing in the Sons of Ben.
And if you ever need co-hosts for your show, let us know. Adam and I can drive up to Ballackinwood anytime. We're on the call.
Once we're allowed to have people back in the studio, we'll have you guys in.
I was pretty much banned from the Ballackinwood studios. I was also an intern at 97.5 once, and I was the worst intern of all time. So I'm pretty sure they don't allow me back anymore.
Adam, we're going to bring the support of the shield. Yeah. We'll bring the shield with us, something shiny, something new. It'll be fine.
I'll hide my face behind it so Miss Nelly won't recognize me. That's how that'll work.
Ladies and gents, that's episode number Jose Mesa. Thank you very much, Tyler, again. And everyone remember, wash your hands.
It was a sexy